She'll hear with Sirius tell us, Moon, it's satire time. Well, let's just put it that way. My own Neptune Square was delving from any single place where I would look up to when it comes to entrepreneurship, business, the entertainment industry, everything being completely shut down when I became aware of what MK Ultra and MK Often is. Now, I have the person I was inspired to make talismanics butter stuff from had a moment had a moment regarding Warren Buffett. They were just mentioning that name with some Jupiter talisman, and I was like, oh my God, that brought me right back to the beginning of my Neptune Square where I knew nothing about nothing, and then full blown learning about those things that I knew nothing about, and how they're connected to the many people that inspired me. Um, this one is Warren Buffett's connections with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, what's interesting about Warren Buffett, and yeah, and I say that like really, that is, I'm so surprised that it hadn't happened to me because I was looking at Warren Buffett. How should I say that? I was super susceptible to be in that very position that person was in. And what's interesting about Warren Buffett is that he cares to understand what he's invested in. When we talk about Warren Buffett's standard for investments, we're talking about investing in something that every stupid person can run. Because surely one day that the business or the enterprise will be run by a stupid person. And he set standards for scalable, simple business um, that are not, super flashy, but do yield. And to get to be invested in Warren's Buffett conglomerate, one would have to cross the threshold of. Now, one would think, what would that guy do with that guy? Basically, when it comes to investment, another way that they unroot the person's ability to actually do good in business without the extortion code. I don't think Jeffrey Epstein, and this is a shout out to How Money Works, okay? We still don't know how Epstein got so rich. They present him as a terrible investor. I don't think that's the case. I think that he was exploited and extorted to invest badly, because to invest well, that would mean that he would be independent of the extortion code. Those of you that have no savings and feel a bit comforted right now, okay, when I looked at what are the things to invest in, and I looked at it as when I think about budgeting myself or monetizing my skill, I look at how do I compound it so that the knowing about where am I going to invest it in would be like a vortex that's a vacuum that brings the money to me and puts that in that vortex that compounds it. But the only thing that I would have to compound it on is extortion codes, which is why you see me tending to that, because that prevents the flow of wealth. And this is how I come about it, because to me it's a wealth block, not a wealth derivative. I want to do the synastry of Warren Buffett, if I can, and Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, I can't do it. Damn. I think Peter doesn't have Jeffrey Epstein's chart. So we have Warren Buffett. Natal chart. Now, hey, before before the Epstein boom, I was listening to Warren Buffett's investors interviews and so on and so forth, just like anybody else that wanted to learn about finances or just from the place of taking financial responsibility. That was the person who really made it as an investor. That wasn't even speculative. Now, add to my database. I think I'm gonna have um, to manually add the chart of Jeffrey Epstein to have a Sinistry composite here. Like I said. So this is January 20, 1953, 6:15, Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Yes, this is my Neptune square is Neptune squaring, and January 20. And we're doing Epstein Sinistry with Warren Buffett, which is the most known conservative investor. Conservative, I mean not conservative party, but conservative in terms of what he invests in. And the special thing about Buffett is that he cares very great detail to understand what he's invested in. Okay? In my house, we grew out on movies about mergers and acquisition. 1953. No, 1953? Batman. 50, I think it's 53. Let me recheck. Now the people that know me probably were, when is she going to do that Sinistry? Anybody that knows me probably predicted is like, come on, is this AM or PM? Come on, what's wrong with you, Shirley? Do Buffett and Epstein Sinistry. AM. Anybody who, by the way, anybody who didn't say what the fuck is wrong with Shirley that she's not doing that Sinistry doesn't know me. Brooklyn. um, and this would probably be the Sinistry of my Neptune square. Um, because Buffett would be a name that, even after the disillusionment from JP Morgan Chase, when we would think business, we would think Buffett. We would think investments, we would think Buffett. We would think opening an investment company or conglomerate that changes the face of business and leaves more charity in the world. We think Buffett. And Buffett cares to a great detail what he is invested in. There's no way to unsee that. Midheaven, 27 degrees Libra. Ascendant, 3 degrees Capricorn conjoining Venus at 4 degrees. Even I'm surprised that I'm most disappointed about Buffett and about any of them, because that's the guy that should have been able to actually do something. And if he's not, then who is? Okay? Sol 18 degrees Scorpio, Mercury and Lilith 27 degrees Scorpio. By the way, opposing Uranus. Yes, Uranus on my Chiron. I said what I said. 0 degree Gemini. About to have a Uranus opposition. Uranus row. Jupiter 12 degrees Sag. It's on a lot that has to do with belief, and belief being practical belief. So basically compatible practical beliefs, which shows me that he went through the pleasure pain programming that undermined his billionaire status at the age of air, to more extent than I can imagine, probably. And I think if this would be the fall of many people, amongst Buffett, amongst which I would not be surprised, because that's exactly what it means to have Saturn Neptune conjuncting at 0 degree Aries, is the fact that the most unspeculative investors that are supposed to survive fall flat at the foundation of extortion cults being removed. Neptune 28 degrees Virgo. Hey, people are allowed to get disappointed. Ketu 9 degrees Virgo. Rahu Chiron. I also have a Rahu Chiron in an economic sign, which is Gemini. It's a sign of trade, and perhaps this Uranus marks my Rahu Chiron, the wound around trade, or curating the wound around trade. Now, here is the thing: in favor of Buffett, he curated the wound around trade being highly speculative, or investments being highly speculative. With this Jupiter Gemini, he made an adaptation, but this is, first of all, to tell the truth, this Jupiter Gemini with Mercury in 27 degrees Scorpio with Lilith is that investment in Epstein. Saturn Pluto square. Saturn applying to square Pluto. Yeah, it was born in 53. No, 53 is Epstein. He was born in 1930. This is. Wait a second. I'm so angry that